Now, buddy, Lufthansa recently has been doing some really strange flights throughout Europe. You know, taking their long-haul planes on some very short-haul flights. You know, from Frankfurt, they were flying their 747s to Hamburg, a below 1 hour flight, or their 787s to Munich, which is, again, that's like 45 minutes. To Paris, they've been flying the A340, to Barcelona, the A330, and to Palma de Mallorca, the 747-400. Isn't that crazy? And you know, we've flown to Palma de Mallorca before, but not on the 747, on the 737 from Ryanair. That was a funny video.
Anyway, now it's time for a lasagna review. Okay, it was disgusting. It was absolutely revolting. The worst thing I've ever eaten.
But everybody, in today's video, I thought, you know what? I want to explore this. Why does Lufthansa do this? Let's take the shortest 747 flight I've ever taken, below 2 hours, to Palma de Mallorca. And so, buddy, our mission starts here at Frankfurt, indeed, here on this beautiful Sunday morning. We're in the Lufthansa Business Lounge, and that, of course, means it is beer time. Yes, me and my editor Dominik were like, yeah, let's treat ourselves to something nice. A nice lie flat bed, for example, in the cabin. Great. We, of course, also tried to get a seat in the upper deck of the plane. We didn't get that. So no, we will not get the full 747 magic in this video. But you know what? Let's just jump over to the gate and already start boarding. How about that? All right, see this short haul gate right here is probably not made for 500 people boarding a plane. Great. And so here it is, the beautiful, magnificent 747-430, 23 years old, 5 years older than I am. I can't wait for this. The flight already is a little bit delayed, but I'm so hooked to sit in this business class cabin on this 2 hour flight. Great. And so, welcome aboard luxury. Welcome aboard the 747-400 business class by Lufthansa. And well, you know, one thing you have to know about it is that it's not great. you know, even the points guy rated it as one of the worst business classes today. Great. You know, it's really outdated. It's an old plane, not a refreshed cabin. And we will see that today, indeed. Well, first of all, the cabin is really cramped as well. Why do you have 3 seats in the middle? That's very cramped. But of course, your regular business class always features a lie flat bed, and that is very nice, especially on this 2 hour flight, isn't it? And of course, something else that's very important in a business class, especially on a long-haul flight, is the in-flight entertainment. I mean, the 747 we're flying just came out of India a day before, a 10-hour flight, so of course the in-flight entertainment works.
Enop. Das sieht auch so ein bisschen aus, als würde er nicht mehr wollen.
It's broken.
Ich glaube, ich habe keinen Fernseher.
Yeah, no, the TV kind of is very broken, but that invites you to read a book.
Dominik, how's the entertainment system though?
I can't seem to get it to work.
That doesn't seem too bad.
Alright, before we start flying, it's time for a bathroom review. I mean, you know, the seat so far has kind of sucked. It barely works. Genuinely. I mean, you know, this is what you have to expect from a 23-year-old plane. It might just be broken a bit. But imagine being on a long-haul flight, you know, in business class. You've paid for the whole thing is full. And then you have to sit on an Enop entertainment seat. I think I would be quite mad.
Good.
Dominik, how's the headrest?
It's great. It moves.
Yeah, oh god.
Anyways, it's always very important for the safety video to play properly in it.
Ooh.
Yes, now that we're 100% informed about the safety regulations, it's now time to taxi. Here we can see the A340 probably flying to Paris. Yeah. Yes, very unfortunately, Lufthansa decided to seat me in the middle of the plane, but that's totally fine. And so now, after takeoff time, it's finally time to relax. We can sit back here, use her beautiful lie flat bed. And of course, I expected the flight entertainment to be broken, and so I brought my own.
Really, one of my all-time travel essentials, very important, is this. A Thrustmaster joystick. Always important to be able to simulate flying your plane while you're in a plane. You know, it's kind of like the escaping the Matrix.
Alright, and then it is time for some lunch. Some German food. Or something. I don't know. You know, this is the typical business class food you'd expect for this kind of flight. Very good, much better than the lasagna from Ryanair.
Eating this lasagna. Great experience.
Alright, and after lunch, it is time to take in the vast amount of space the 747 has. After all, I've just realized this was my first ever 747 flight, and probably one of my last, if you think about it. So let's go ahead and celebrate by exploring the cabin and maybe going upstairs.
Yeah, let's take a picture, sure. Yeah, wow, really cool, thanks. Yeah, butter landing.
Now, of course, since this is a very special flight, there's lots of aviation fans on this flight.
Great.
And I also got recognized like a lot of times, which was really new for me as well. So that's cool.
Nice to meet you. Ja, so da gehen wir mal hoch, oder? Komm mit. Okay. Walking the beautiful stairs of the Queen of the Skies, the 747. Oh, it's a bit smaller here. So this is all business class, this whole configuration.
And I've even met some people who would let me sit in their business class seat here in the upper deck. Now we can feel the magic of the 747 properly. And I met a guy with a really, really cool shirt. The biggest 747 fan ever, I think. Now, of course, after all, this is one of the shortest 747 flights ever, and that means we're already landing soon. You know, in this video, I've realized how beautiful the 747 is. You know, I've been a little bit too negative, perhaps. Yes, the 747 is aging. The Queen is getting old, and that we could clearly see today. But the funny thing is that I'll probably be the first person to complain about Lufthansa retiring the 747-400s. You know, so I feel a little bit guilty now for being so negative. This flight was absolutely perfect in every way. And that was an absolute butter landing, yes. You know, Lufthansa, once again in this flight, has shown very well its values. You know, they are not really money hungry that much as other airlines, and this is why they still fly these ancient planes. You know, they maintain tradition in a certain way. And that also brings me to the actual question of why do they even do this? Use these long-haul planes on short-haul flights? It's really simple. Well, first of all, it's training for the crew, you know. To keep the crew fresh with the aircraft and all the equipment and all that stuff, they use this short flight very, you know, useful. But also demand calls for such big planes on short-haul flights. It's also people wanting to go here in the spring, I guess. Yes, for Lufthansa, it makes sense to fly these big planes here. And also, it's great publicity because it's really cool. Yeah.
You know, while the NPCs are, you know, standing up, getting out the airplane, we're waiting now because I really would love to go into that cockpit after this flight. So come on, let's wait a few minutes here and then go upstairs to visit the pilots. Hi. Long line. Oh, 747-400. 23-year-old.
You know more than we do.
Beautiful landing, you guys.
Yeah, thank you. That was fun.
Great to be up here. Thank you guys. Have a nice flight back.
Thank you.
Now, what a lovely flight, everybody. I mean, you could clearly tell the passion of the 747 that still lives on. Everybody in the cockpit. That cockpit was old, let me tell you. But that was a really cool flight here with all the other AF geeks. This is a very special flight, and you know, this is what makes me respect Lufthansa even more. You don't even see this in America. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this very interesting video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. As always, Good night.
Now, thank you very much to my highly supporting members like Jamie Ashton, Mike C, James Duram, Ragings, Met RLG, Matt Fan Z, Moritz, Bellhausen, Knots Enthusiast, Shadow, New the York, Ryland Williams, Kelly Chaos, John O'Brien, and I'm addicted to Airbus A380s. Thank you.